Going on? What's going on? Welcome to Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Please, everyone, excuse my tardiness. We're gonna blame it on I-20. 98% I-20, 2% me.
That's right.
And everything, you know. But I made it here, you know, safe and sound. And I got an awesome show planned for you guys. Tonight we'll be discussing 10 things that wealthy people do to stay richer. So I hope we drop a little game on you. First, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, man, out here trying to make it, brother.
Oh, that's right.
And everything. You know I'm Mr. Make It Happen. So,
That's right.
man, boy, that traffic's something else and everything. You know, before we get started, want to give condolences out to Don, the Cameron family. You know, they buried a mother on yesterday and everything. So I want to give my condolences out and everything. And also give well wishes to my awesome assistant, Joni. Joni had her surgery last week. She's out of ICU, out of the hospital. I think they just kind of, once they got out of ICU, man, they just kind of just checked the temperature to go the hell out of the hospital. But she's back home now, so give a big shout out to Joni. And like I said again, wish our condolences out to the Cameron family in regards to their loss of their lovely mother. Just rehash this past week. You know, I went to my wife's family reunion, in-laws up in Cincinnati. Came back without getting my ass kicked.
Was that fun?
It was cool, man. It was cool, man. Okay. And it was awesome to meet her. That was my first time. My lady been together over 20 years. That was my first time going to a family reunion.
Okay.
And the first time she done that's my first. Yeah, she ain't been and everything. So the first time, like a lot of my kids were able to meet some of the cousins and everything.
Oh, okay.
My oldest, he's met some of them over the years, but it was cool. And also, you know, they did a real good job of rehashing and teaching the family history, the family tree.
Okay.
So it was cool. It was pretty insightful. You know, met a whole lot of new family members, had a real good time. So it was awesome, man. So big shout out to the Gale family. You know, they're from, between Alabama and Ohio and Cincinnati. Majority of them, a lot of them in Toledo and everything. But it was cool, man. It was cool. We had a good time and everything. Like I said, my wife didn't knock me out or anything, so you survived it.
You behaved yourself?
I behaved myself.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo was good and everything. I want to kind of talk about, you seen this viral video about the dad whooping his daughter because he found her in the house having sex. It's been going viral. And it was
really?
Did you see it? Yeah,
I haven't
man.
seen it.
It's crazy, man. And people been doing it. They talked about it on V103. And I seen a couple posts and I responded to. I just thought it was just kind of BS. Not that he whooped her, but I just think that number one, the taping and posting it, how you handle stuff. Because again, I guess people don't think about it. When you make dumbass decisions or mistakes as a parent, nobody trying to post that.
Yeah, I mean,
but I'm gonna get where I think a lot of people, even with my response. I wasn't condoning the young lady having sex, but I will say this. I think you're being unrealistic about certain things. I think as parents and people, period, we're very reactive instead of proactive. Mm-hmm. And if the girl is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, a lot of times parents, you know, we don't know. We ain't got a gauge. We don't want to initiate, hey, you ready to have sex? Let me talk to you.
Right.
You kind of, especially with a daughter. I don't have a daughter. I have 4 sons. But I can even just see out a younger sister. I can see where people wants to kind of be reluctant. I don't want to know she having sex, and if she do it, then when I want to have that talk instead of kind of schooling them. And then sometimes when you just have that, and I know this is very prevalent in the black community, more so don't have sex. And when you have that damn don't have sex talk, now your child can't come talk to you. And we talked about this on previous shows. And now they listen to their dumbass friend.
And they getting wrong information.
Exactly. And I think he said the little girl was caught in the house having sex and dad was beating her, calling her a hoe. And I just think that could have been handled a whole different way. Not, like I said, not trying to condone it, but I just think that what we got to understand, especially as parents, once you say no, or no is the answer, and I'm not listening to it, now that child can never come back to you for advice. So now you've stopped that. And, that's the thing I think about. I'm not going to sit here and say that I haven't reacted with my kids when I was pissed off or mad, and, look back at it later, say that, damn, I should have maybe hollered at them and everything. I think we all been guilty of that.
Yeah, but, I think a lot of times what happens is when you do, a lot of people say that you rather be feared or loved, and a lot of times when you chastise your children like that, not condoning what she did, because I have a daughter. Mm-hmm. I have a daughter.
Uh-huh.
So for me to walk in the house and see my daughter having sex probably would have been a reaction. It wouldn't have been taped, and it damn sure wouldn't have been posted, but it probably would have been a reaction. So I think what happens with fathers when they see that, fathers when they see their children, their daughters having sex, we start flashing back to how we was as teenagers and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's just like, my daughter can't go through or try to, what we did, even though we was the one put somebody else's daughter
absolutely
through that. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And I'm 150% with that. The issue comes up is the ass whooping is the reaction.
Right.
The taping and the reposting and everything
it's the stupid
is what you knew you were doing. Because you can look back, damn, I shouldn't have whooped her ass that much. Damn, I need to talk to her, baby girl. I meant what I did, but you should have did this. But when you post it, that's you doing it. You know what I'm saying?
You consciously knew what you were doing at that point, because it's not a reaction. Because you had to take time to tape it. Then you had when you post stuff, it takes the time to upload a video. Between all that time, you know what I'm saying? Then when you post it, you don't have to leave it. You could delete it right then.
Yeah,
so you consciously knew what you were doing at that point. That wasn't a punishment towards her for what she did. That was just something for you to get, I think, a pat on the back or publicity or whatever it may be. Because it's stupid to post that.
Yeah, because I would never, because I was more like, we knew what we did as kids, and that's not to justify it, but as again, after you done did what you did, because I even never tell no parent how to discipline a child.
Exactly.
That ain't my place. But after you done did what you did, you can consciously sit here and say, well, I know I made some mistakes. Let me go holler at her, give her some game. But when you post it and everything, it's like you just forgot.
Right.
And that's the thing about it. And I just think that, especially, from a common sense standpoint, I don't think ass whooping gonna stop it.
No.
Especially, I remember growing up, you around all us West Side players. Give a damn what your daddy said. Shit. All thing that ass whooping gonna do is make her more sneakier.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Figure out a way to do it better next time.
Shit. So I just again, I ain't trying to sit and tell nobody what to do, but it's just when to go and do the posting, the level of conscience that it took to do that, I think it's kind of boy. And the unfortunate part about it, when you post things, the whole story don't come out. You putting yourself in a position you can get a different level of scrutiny.
And then you might get charged for something.
Man, I'm about sure you're gonna get his son gonna come up because you beat the hell out of the girl and everything. And again, all that. Like I said, I seen a lot of females posting whoop 'em, and I know they would get. Lord, no. You really done forgot what you were doing.
What you probably still doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, boy. Boy. But let's get to tonight's show. Again, we're talking about 10 things the wealthy people do to get richer. And what I wanted to kind of go into looking at, thinking about doing this show was that I hear a lot of people speaking on things that they think about getting wealthy or getting rich and everything. And you kind of look at a lot of people want to be rich. You can look on the internet. You see all the time financial whatever conference. Come and join this. Pay $75. Right. You see the brother and the sister standing back to back. They got the nice clothes on. Come on in, master $1 million producer, and everybody's doing it. Playing at those those emotions, them sensory keys to kind of get you to go to do that. And people a lot of times go because they say, look, I see this brother in the
nice
suit, yeah, the sister and everything like that, and we're gonna go ahead and do it. And people just really move on it, right?
Right.
And unfortunately, it's not necessarily the real deal. And me being in the financial services accountant at 20 years, I have a different eye.
Okay.
I've dealt with hundreds of millions of dollars before in terms of accounting, moving money, transferring, and everything like that. And I'm a little different because I'm an accountant. The shit's paperwork to me,
right.
So I'm numb to it.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense. Probably like same thing with people working in the mint. They got all that. Yeah. You're numb to it. If you're working in certain industries, whatever, you got the money coming in, you just more so counting and everything. So I'm numb to that. So I have a different vantage point when I look at in terms of that. Mm-hmm. And you see so many people that are projecting that image of, wealth and prosperity and everything, and people see that and they want it.
Right.
But they don't want to take the steps to do it, or they really ain't educated doing it. Then when they get educated, they still don't want to take the steps then.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the instances where you meet the couple. I mean, they shining clean, looking good, getting out the Mercedes and everything, and you had the meeting and everything went good, and y'all leaving the meeting, car can't cut on, ain't no gas in that motherfucker. Y'all just spent an hour. I'm talking about we done spent an hour talking about, we want to get these, do this development and all that kind of stuff. Deonte, we want you to be the accountant and do this, that, and that. Okay, cool.
Right.
They look good, you know what I'm saying? Sister on fleek, brother just, man, getting that. Y'all straight? Yeah, we good.
You get your Toyota to pull the fuck out.
Yeah, get the fuck out. Man, look here, man. I can't, And I sat here and dealt with a little Iranian guy jumping about the Ford Focus. I know he got a line of credit about $10 million. Hey, D, let's go do this and that and that. I mean, look like he just got out from skateboarding and everything. Shoes ragged.
Dusty.
Man, hey, D, you got $10 million, man. Let's go over here and do this. And I need you to do these books and projections and everything right then and there.
Right.
Got nothing to do with the options. Don't give a damn. He looking to just make this money and everything. And
let's put that on my black car so I can get the miles.
Shit, man. Yeah, no damn clue. No clue. You be telling, the brother and sister want to go to Ruth Chris doing the lunch and everything.
He want to go away.
Yeah, there you go.
I had this guy that I used to work with. He bought property all over Atlanta. He started buying property in Virginia Highlands before Virginia Highlands was popular.
Uh-huh.
And he had money. He had tons of money. I know for a fact he had money.
Uh-huh.
He would not go any like a special lunch for us, like when we worked on Saturday and Sunday. If he felt like he wanted to do a special lunch, he would go to Fellini's Pizza. But generally it was Wendy's double stacks.
Ain't think nothing of it.
Ain't think nothing of it. Loved him.
And I've seen it all. Man, I met one brother. He was a black farmer, and just sitting there talking, with nothing exciting. He's like, I got 300 acres. We was talking about the kind of money he had because he had contracts with Kroger and Walmart and stuff like that. And this down in East Georgia, not too far outside with Burke County. Okay. 300 damn acres. Just talking about how he had just was doing that and everything. And I'm just want to kind of before we start from an optics level, you can't get it twisted in terms of what you think it is because unfortunately, but you see this so much. There are so many ads that I see with people promoting, especially with in the black community, the wealth building, credit repair, this, that, and that. Hell, I do it, but I ain't gonna lie to you. But you see these images of what could be done and everything, and people just kind of be losing it with that, But I think a lot of times people really just don't know, and they move without asking.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And if you kind of think about it, I was thinking about it last night. It's kind of like the impulsive stuff. Like, I need to go and save this or buy this and do that because that brother said so. They look like they got it. It's kind of like you had a grease fire on the stove.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Initially, what you think you see the grease fire to do what? Throw water on it. Wrong answer. Now you got this big ass
House fire.
this shit burning down all around you and everything, and you just didn't know.
Right.
And you know that's kind of I think what people have in mind in terms of what they want to do about as far as gaining wealth, you know, being prosperous, getting richer, and things like that. You know, and before we start, I want to keep two things in mind. There's a difference between wealth and income. Income is what you make. That can be six figures, but wealth is what you own. That net amount that, you know, that can make you a millionaire. Because you have far a lot of these guys that we talked about on previous shows that make a lot of money, millions, but they're not millionaires because they're coming in and going out. And you got a lot of people that actually own a lot of properties, but they ain't necessarily liquid, you know, and it's very important. I really want to challenge everybody. We're going to talk about it during the show to make sure you kind of educated as possible about this. Again, on tonight's show, we're talking about 10 things the wealthy people do to get richer. This is Deonte Burden. Our show is Changing Lives. We're streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly, YouTube. Also Periscope. We're on a podcast on Live 365, Apple Radio. What am I missing, brother?
TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, Blueberry, Acast, live online radio, streamer.
You have no damn reason whatsoever not to catch me. But make sure
we're trying to cover all bases.
Absolutely. But really, most important, please make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment and everything. We're really trying to grow everything, and we have been growing tremendously over the past year and everything. So whatever you guys can do, but please make sure you subscribe to it and share our show with everybody and stuff. Shout my son PJ, he checking in and everything. So let's start our show. 10 things that wealthy people do to get richer. Number one, they have a financial growth mindset. They're always trying to make money, do different things that can make them money. You know, they're not sitting down. Share a story with my uncle Charles. He's self-made millionaire now. He owns Burden Funeral Home and Burden Bond and Company and everything. You know, ain't no secret now like that. Everybody know my uncle Charles. But he shared a story with me and my older son. It's probably about 10 years ago. He laid $1 on the table. He said, "That's $1." I'm like, okay, no shit. And he's like, right. That dollar got so much power. You can take it and use for different stuff. But if you let it sit there, it's just $1. And that's the mindset you got to have, that you're always looking for ways to make more money, grow your money, instead of just, I got $1, I'm going to put it in the bank and save it up. Because again, it's one thing, you do want that nest egg. You do want that some kind of security. But I understand you're not going to get wealth and get richer if the dollar's just sitting there.
Exactly.
So you have to, that number one, they have that financial growth mindset. They're always looking for different ways, trying to get, you know, educated on, you know, stocks, investing, and different kind of business endeavors to make them more money. Their mind is always churning for that. That doesn't mean they make dumb moves or quick moves in order to get them in a certain position, but they're always looking for different kind of opportunities and angles to increase their wealth and make them more money.
They don't see $1. They don't. When they see $1, they see 5 or 4. Let's just say 4 ways to use that dollar, because you know you got a quarter. So they see 4 ways to use that dollar, because, like you said, it's just $1 if it's just sitting there. But when they see, that's like artists. When artists work on things, they see everything as art. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They see everything as art. So they could be looking at this couch and, man, if I paint that couch green, red, purple, brown, and brown, you know, that's going to be the baddest couch ever, because everything that they see is an art, no matter what you do. Like me, I DJ. When I hear music, I always hear, when I hear certain different music, oh, that'll sound good with this, or that'll sound good mixed in with that, because as an artist, you hear things or see things as art. And that's what wealthy people do. They see money. They don't see money as what I can buy.
Yeah.
They see money as, how can I make more of it?
Constantly see opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. It's
always see opportunities. Just what? How can you monetize this? How can you do that? It's just a different kind of lens. So again, that number one is they have a financial growth mindset. The second thing is they're always networking with successful people, and I tell people a lot. You can't expect things to be different if you're doing the same thing in life. If if you're constantly in the same circles and doing stuff, you pretty much gonna get the same, kind of results. People aren't they're not necessarily adept to try to talk to certain person. I don't want to talk to that joker. They think they this, they think they that, and this person probably had the information that you need.
Exactly.
And network, especially with black folks, we're not millennials a little different, but especially if we start going to that Generation X, we not too quick to want to talk to people we don't know.
Because we always think somebody going to try to steal our idea.
Exactly. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and she was telling me about what she was looking in the future. But don't tell nobody. I said, I won't tell nobody because you tell them not to tell nobody. I said, but why would you be, you're not making you ain't got vibranium. You know what I'm saying? So what the, why wouldn't you be trying to talk, I heard if you share with people, no, you don't know who knows who. And you know who can put you in a certain position. You've never done this before, and you're trying to keep this a secret. No, that's not going to benefit you. And like I said, again, we're not traditionally inept with networking. Because, I talked to you before, like, a lot of times people know the whole adage. I heard this yesterday when I went school shopping. Lady at the clothing store said she had just moved here from Columbus. My ass, I'm Mr. Friendly with every damn body.
Exactly.
And we sitting there, and she was just saying, like, she was in the financial service industry. I like, me too. She said, well, I said, she's like, I'm just trying to get my feet wet and everything. She said, her cousin going to introduce her to some celebrities they know, whatever the hell that means. But she's like, it ain't what you know, it's who you know. I said, well, look, baby, you need to make sure you get you some who's. If you know you're in the financial, go on a meetup. Go get some financial services meetup groups. Do this, talk to people and stuff like that. I just know this from that whole celebrity shit. You're talking to an accountant. I know who in those industries make money. I know who in the industries,
faking the funk.
Put out there like they make money. We won't use them hard adjectives, hard verbs. But you get my point. My whole thing is just start trying to do that. And if you're not inept to doing, that's going to go to our next point. Just start learning how to do it. But you have to be networking with people. You see guys in positions where you want to be in life. You have no choice but to go out there and talk to them. Are some of them going to be a butt and say no? Yeah. But you still can't afford to do that. You still want to be there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I say people can know what your idea is. They can know what the end result is to your idea. But they don't have to know the recipe that you put together to get there. You know what I mean? Internet radio is nothing. There's 562 million internet radio stations in Atlanta. True. And they can watch me and listen to us and do whatever they want to do and see and assume what we're doing. They don't know the recipe of what we do in order to do what, what I'm saying. They know we internet radio, so they can go and do whatever they do to get internet radio. That's cool.
Absolutely.
But they don't know how much salt and pepper or this or that I put in there to get the end result of what I have going on.
Yeah, and plus they ain't got a key ingredient.
Exactly.
They ain't got you.
They ain't got exactly. You get what I'm saying? So they can know and they can see what I'm doing, but the end result is not going to be the same because there's two different chefs cooking it up in the kitchen.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. That's the case. Hey guys, if you're in one of the chats, make sure you're leaving feedback, leaving comments and everything. So again, this is Change Live, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. I want you guys to be as interactive as possible with your questions and anything. Because we stream it live on Facebook and Instagram and also on the YouTube. So if you got any questions or anything while we're doing this, just chime on in. The third thing is kind of pushing out, rolling off from what we did the second one in terms of people networking is, wealthy people got no problem getting out of their comfort zone. They are okay. They're comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a problem with doing stuff that's different. And what I'm talking about, if you're used to, have to go into a crowd of people that you don't normally have to go to, that you normally aren't around, talking to strangers, making sure that whatever you have to do is done regardless of the path you got to go into. A lot of times people want to stay on a certain path or, deal in a certain sector. You hear a lot of times people say, well, if you start a business and family and friends, they ain't going to support you. Well, family and friends probably shouldn't be your target market.
Exactly.
You're probably focusing on the wrong group But you don't want to do that because you feel like because I started selling these, tank tops, belt buckles, or whatever, my family friends should support me. And remember what we talked about as far as support. Support is a very great word. Support can be, man, good job, a hug, pat on the back. It might be a share, it might be a shout out, it might be a purchase. But if they don't like that shit, they shouldn't be obligated to buy your shit. And so,
because you family.
Exactly. And so when people get out of those comfort zones in terms of what they feel is the path, what they're used to doing, that's when they'll see the growth. But the people that are wealthy, they don't care. They embrace stress. Embrace stress, rather. I'm sorry. They embrace difficulty. They embrace change. That's not nothing they shy away from, because what we talked about initially, stress, stuff being difficult, change. Those are what opportunities.
Exactly.
So they don't see it as doing that. That's why you see Asians come open up New Orleans seafood or a soul food place up in the hood. They don't give a damn. They see opportunity. They know all y'all like eating it, so we just gonna put it up in there. So, brothers, why we can't open us up a country western bar?
Exactly.
Why we can't open us up a little Merengue bar? Why we can't open up a smoothie bar in Johns Creek and don't try to put one on Bankhead? We know damn well nobody ain't gonna get no damn smoothies. Why we can't do it? Okay, we just don't need to be behind the counter, but we can. Those same opportunities are there for us. We just have to be okay with being uncomfortable trying to do something different, because these people coming over here not knowing a lick of damn English. Let's take out the opportunities they may have with tax abatement. We got them too. Mm-hmm. Trust me, there are a lot of programs for black folks and minorities to get businesses and get started. You just gotta go through the protocol.
Right.
But if a person can come to this country, not know no damn English, don't even know their way around, and they just start wearing damn shoes, and they can start a whole damn business up in your community and be profitable by it, that is so frightening. I couldn't imagine going to a foreign country, not knowing the language, and then starting a business and doing it. But if they can do it, and we've been out here our whole lives, regardless of what kind of restrictions and things that we may have, we still ain't come on here like that. So get it together. Don't make no damn excuses and stuff. Like I said, be comfortable with being uncomfortable, okay?
I think the problem that we have a lot of times is that we're not hungry and we're not foolish. Steve Jobs gave a speech to Stanford. I told you about that. Mm-hmm. And in his speech, he said, hey, y'all stay hungry, stay foolish. Meaning, go out and get it, and don't, anything is possible. When you stay foolish, I'm going to open me a country western bar up in L&J or wherever they don't want to, down in Forsyth County. I'm going to open me a country western bar, because you got to stay foolish. You got to take a chance on those things. You got to take chances. And a lot of times we don't want to take chances. We want the sure thing.
Constantly ask yourself, why not?
Yeah.
If you constantly ask yourself, why not? Shit, okay. Brother told me one time, he said, man, you shouldn't open a tax business up out. I ain't going to say what area, and everything. But like what he kept telling me, if it were possible, I would have did it. I'm like, man, you ain't me. Shit. That's the thing. That's the thing about it. Get out your comfort zone. Let's do it. Exactly. Think outside the box. Like I said, the Merengue bars are there. The Irish pubs. We can have all that. Mm-hmm. Brothers, you just gotta believe it and want to do it. Mm-hmm. We don't have to be limited to the barbershop, beauty salon, detail shop.
Selling hair.
Not
doing hair.
Grilling on the damn corner. We ain't got to be limited to that.
Exactly.
There's a huge world. And we segment ourselves to certain businesses, but we got other nationalities that just use us as a target market. Well, we never do that. And that's what I'm talking about, that comfort zone. And for the damn life of it, I can't even figure out why. But I think a lot of it has to do with just confidence in yourself that you can sell to the white man, to the Asian man, or the Indian man. But they got money just like we do. Mm-hmm. Like we always talk about our spending power. Shit, well, they go get some of theirs.
And I think a lot of times what happens is when we do go try to sell them, one of our excuses is, well, they don't mess with nobody outside their own race. They stay with their own people. Well, we have to figure out a way to sell to them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to figure out what's going to make them, well, if they're not going to sell to me, well, they're going to sell their own kind. Okay, well, I'm going to get somebody in the store that look like them that's going to sell them. And by the time I come from behind the counter or come in the store as the owner, whatever I'm selling going to be so good to them, they going to think about it, but then they going to like, no, I can't.
Hey,
This the best thing going.
You hit on the head. Why we can't put a white girl behind the corner?
Exactly.
Why we can't put Pedro behind the corner? You know, Pedro and anybody else. Why we can't do it?
Exactly.
They do it to us. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But now we so damn giddy. We just want to go work there. We don't want to own our own shit. We want. Let me stop. I got to be honest on here.
Well, our problem is we want to be behind the counter. We want to show everybody we the owner.
There you go. But you hit it on the head. Just having that confidence in yourself. Going to number 4. Again, we're talking about the 10 things that wealthy people do to get richer. Wealthy people create multiple income streams, income flows. They're always looking for a different, like we talk about the opportunities, ways where money can come in. You know, the great part about that is, you know, just being realistic. Speaking for myself, you know, over the years, you know, one thing up, another thing down. You know, making money with tax season. I got, you know, people, then at least they ended in my rental properties. I got to cover some money with that. Robbing Peter, pay Paul. Shop doing well, put a little money from the shop, go put in some more stuff. Shop doing bad. I got money coming over here to cover different things. And that's what we mean on multiple streams of income, because now you got money coming 4 or 5 ways. And the world and life can be cyclical, whereas things can kind of slow down or affect certain stuff. You can get sick and lose your job, but you got money coming other ways. You got a cushion. And you're really hedging everything. We talk about hedging, protecting yourself from risk. You by having things that's coming in from different directions and whole different kind of businesses, you creating that kind of protection for yourself. Because again, like I say, you know, you never know what can happen to you in life.
That's true.
But if you can fall back on this and pull some money from that, fall back on that and pull some money from that, because this is going slow. But they're constantly always trying to create other streams of income. You know, we look at income. Income comes in 2 ways, active and passive. Active income, pretty much what you're working for, you're getting paid to do, right? We start speaking about from a passive standpoint, that's income that you got coming in that's not attributed to the amount of time you spent doing it. Some examples would be stock dividends, rental property income, maybe some, I'm trying to think before I go, book sales that you got, you know, or something that you may have contributed to that you may be getting like a residual from and everything. Those that passive income, you know. You might have got paid to write the book, but then those sales later on, the residuals, just like an actor got paid on the show, but those were the royalties. Yeah, you know, that's passive income. You're not doing it anymore. So those two forms, those 2 main forms of income, being active and passive. But again, wealthy people are always looking for different ways to generate income. They're not comfortable with everything coming from one place. And I don't think you guys should be either, and everything, because we're in a day and age now where businesses are always trying to innovate and trim fat. And we're all one innovation or breakthrough away from getting our ass fired.
Yeah.
So you
One
can't
invention.
yeah, and you can't put yourself in a position where, you know, you're just reactive. You know, I'm very uncomfortable with that. And I'm uncomfortable when I see people like that. Well, you know, if I do 2 and 10, man, you don't know if you're going to be there 10, 20 more damn years.
Exactly.
Well,
I make it 10, 20 more days.
I got so many more. Shit. I ain't saying leave your job. I am saying you need to be getting your cushion together. And far too many of us, we fall, you know, prey to that, you know, and everything. Especially, you know, I think about 10, 15 years ago, we had so many plants and other things closing because of innovation and automation.
Consolidation.
Exactly. And it happens all the damn time. Number 5, wealthy people are always looking to invest. And investing, it's a little, it can go even more in depth than just buying some stocks and buying some bonds or whatever. Investing can be looking at Deonte Lab got a business and stuff like that, and they want to get the business off the ground. I'm going to put a little seed money in between them guys, and I might buy a certain percentage of ownership. I might be guaranteed a certain residual each month and everything. They're constantly looking for opportunities to invest in different things that they can do. Like I'm saying, we are investing, them buy some stocks and buy some bonds. Wealthy people are looking, you know, that's where you see those angel investors, those venture capital places like in Silicon Valley where they're doing it. You see a perfect example of that on TV being Shark Tank. Where those people come in and they looking like, look, we're going to give you this amount of money, but I want this amount of ownership. I want this residual coming in each month. And that's what they're constantly doing, where, you know, you coming to me, you want this money. Okay, this business do well. you got to cut a check to me every month to do that. It's going back to those different streams of income. But they're constantly always looking for those kind of opportunities to come their way that can be bringing more income, more wealth to them and everything. Again, what they're not sitting on, if I work 4 more years and do this back here and I can save this money, happen. No, they're constantly looking for ways to make that money work for them. Constantly looking for that. And that's why I say, one thing from we start talking about investment, they have a whole different outlook on investing. Okay. Again, this is Deonte Burden. Our show is Changing Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Please go to the YouTube channel, like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And our show topic tonight, what we're talking about is 10 things that wealthy people do to get richer. Okay. So now we go down to number 6. This is something that we had a whole show about. They take calculated risks.
Yeah.
Now, when we talked about in the show, it's the same concept. There's a difference between taking a risk and taking a chance.
Exactly.
Where the chance is just some blind act that you take without any thought behind it, just emotional, just doing it. I want to do it. I'm gonna quit my job. He cussed me out. We cook pretty good. We're just gonna go on and we're gonna pray to God. Gonna go out on faith. Woo, and just do and do this and everything. And next thing you know, the people homeless. They try to do a GoFundMe account because they ain't got no. They bet the mortgage and everything. And those are chances. Whereas we start going to taking calculated risks. When a person takes risks, they're looking at all the things that can go bad.
Right.
Not to make them not do it, but more so to kind of make sure they got it covered for it to happen. Are they going to miss something? Yeah. But when you're moving like that, you're protecting yourself where you're not going into it. I didn't think about it. And even when you looking at it, analyzing all the bad things that can happen, you may decide not to even do it. You may say, okay, that's not even a good opportunity for us. We're not going to do that right now. That's not my lane. I don't know. But if they sit there and gather all the information about it, well, these are three or four things you can do. You need somebody working there. I got one of my guys to work for me on other projects. He can do that for me. I got the money to cover it, even if it takes 30 days. If it's going to take extended 60 to 90 days, I got enough cushion money for that. I can reach out to some different developers that can make stuff happen just in case these guys leave. They're hedging everything. They're covering everything. They take those risks because they see at the end of the day, if I put in this $10,000, it can bring me $100,000 in 5 years. Could I lose this $10,000? Absolutely. But losing this $10,000 is not going to put me in the poorhouse. It might make me mad and everything, but I see the long-term vision, and I figure that with the mechanism that we got in place, we can cover ourselves in the event something bad happens.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So they have no problem taking those calculated risks. And I think that's something that I really try to push on a lot of people. Don't be afraid to take opportunities. And when you start looking at it in life, sometimes you can't afford not to take opportunities.
Yeah, sometimes you pass up on opportunities. That's the right You gotta take as many opportunities as you can. But I want you to do something for me on the taking risk thing. I want you to clarify, like, if a person takes a risk and they still lose a whole bunch of money, it's not because they didn't calculate the risk. It's because something on the other end of that risk didn't pan out right. Like, I'm gonna give you a good example. When Vine first came out, which is a app, something like Instagram used to be, everybody had an evaluation that it was gonna go public. It was gonna be a $3 billion thing. So people started pouring money into it. What happened was Vine didn't go public. Instagram bought Vine out, so they never went public. So all them billions of dollars all these people thought they were going to make, they never made. They pumped money into it, but that was a calculated risk that it may go public or it may not go public, but I'm going to take the risk on both and see what happens. Yeah. I'm going to hedge my bets on it.
Yeah. I've seen it happen a lot with a lot of brothers where they go in with people starting restaurants and stuff like that. They looking, people need some seed money to open up a couple of stores here and there, and they're betting on 5 years. If they open a couple other stores to go public, that can happen. Happens all the time. Like I tell people, don't put yourself in position. If you put you in the po house. I mean, I'm sitting here telling you now, I done did some deals in the past 365 days. Shit. ain't no damn rent money I done damn lost.
Right.
And everything. But again, I've won more than I lost. And you got to just be smart about that. Things can happen. Like you just said, people banking on, they going up, but they didn't do it. Kind of same thing. Well, I think the growth of Snap and some of these other businesses, people were anticipating being more than what they were. They just didn't happen. Think back with some of the people, fitness industry is crazy. So you think about, let's go where we at now. What's big in fitness right now? Just a lot of virtual stuff and everything. But let's go from Tybo to the rock climbing to the damn whole studios of bicycles.
You know what's the whole outside running through the mud triathlon type deals, like the Ninja Warrior type stuff. That's what's big now.
Damn.
The Warrior runs.
The Warrior runs.
Yeah.
Spartan race and everything and stuff like that. Man, and it evolves. I was looking at an interview with the guy that on Planet Fitness. Like he was just saying, I just wanted to. They have a unique model. I don't know if it's a sustainable model, but it's a unique model because his whole thing was, I just want people to come from work. I don't necessarily think it's a sustainable. It kind of remind me of Bally's in terms of. You still getting folks in there for $10 to $20 a month, but you got this humongous overhead.
The problem, I think his problem is, and he should talk to me about it. The problem is he wants people to come from work, but he's not where people work. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's not in the places where, I'm gonna give you a good example. It's a place over there called Atlanta Fitness that I used to go to in the shopping center. But the difference is they front street and they in the shopping center and they're around other stores. So what happens is they're in the area where actually there's no other gyms, and it's a lot of shopping center people and everything that was a main shopping center. So they stayed full because of the fact they were, for one, they were only gym, and for two, they were in the area where they was on the front street where there's the main thoroughfare, and they were only charging, and this is the kicker, they were only charging $20 a month, but they had swimming pool, classes, everything. See, fitness don't have that model.
Well,
they don't even have a swimming pool.
I'm gonna tell you what his thing was. They banking on that the $100 sign up fee. They gonna get so many people to do it because history does show people, unless you're actual trainer, you probably got a 4 to 6 month lifespan before you say F it, before you start going to gym. So they're banking on all those $100 that they get to sign up, and then they know they're gonna go probably another 3 or 4 months with dues before people quit. It's working for them and everything like that. I don't necessarily know it's sustainable. And not doing it, but that was his whole thing. The one initial, then you got 5 months of cash coming in. You overbooking, getting thousands of people because they know they got to pay for $10 a month. They looking at it like that. But it's unique and everything. But that's going back to we talking about those taking those calculated risks. Well, wealthy people, they don't mind doing something different, and they're not afraid to step out their norm to try to do certain things, because again, we said initially, if you're doing the same shit, you're going to get the same results. So that's one of the things we want to kind of make sure we're looking at in terms of taking those calculated risks. Number 7, wealthy people focus a lot on self-improvement. This is very, very important because people are so comfortable or afraid to kind of do something different. I'm good. Wealthy people are lifelong learners. You see people that are constantly reading, constantly trying to do certain things. They're going to different kind of conferences. They're joining different kind of groups, different networking sessions. They're always trying to improve themselves. They may be going to different kind of classes, been 30, 40 years in the game. Okay, this is the new technology. Let me see what's going on there. Let's see what's going on in there. When you see those interviews with a guy like Warren Buffett that is so versed with how technology is right now, and he may not even deal with it in terms of buying, any kind of new things, but he understands how it goes. You're looking at Jack Ma, who, started Alibaba. Those guys, you talking about men in their 60s, and they understand 60s. And Warren Buffett was 80 something, And these guys understand the difference of technology. Again, they may not necessarily be versed with it, like your millennial, but they're constantly learning. Okay, what's this new system? What's going on? Always looking to constantly improve. Always constantly looking to trend fact. And what's so important about this is because when you're very complacent or you really don't want to change or do nothing different in life, you put yourself in that word I told you is very dangerous, reactionary. When you're reactionary, you just deal with what happens.
Exactly.
But when you're proactive and you know what's going on, you're not going to really be caught by surprises. Why do I think this is so important when we start talking about this? It goes back to what's a hot topic in a lot of major cities, especially in the black community, is gentrification. And I'm going to tell you something, man. People act like, I got a problem a lot of times. Folks are always talking about white man trying to buy everything out. They trying to gentrify this, that, and that. And I've been in these damn NPU units. I've been in the NPU unit meetings. I've been in these damn city, county, board meetings. And we ain't never in there. And all these same damn developers come with these damn proposals to do certain shit, and nobody's there. And then when it happens, they all trying to take our stuff. And there's some shit that they planned for 3, 4, 5 years ago that they tried to do this.
Well, actually, when that stadium started happening, when the Mercedes-Benz Stadium come in, that's not a 5-year plan. That's a 10-year plan.
Absolutely.
Because the original stadium was built at a certain time. So they say, okay, this stadium, like I'm gonna give you a good example, air conditioners. They say air conditioners has a shelf life of maybe 10 to 15 years. So they looked at, when they built the first stadium, they said, okay, this stadium right here is probably gonna last for about, and I don't know when the stadium was built because I wasn't in Atlanta then.
Gotcha.
The stadium could last about 20 years. So
89 or 90. Okay. 89, I kind of was right when Falcon first turned black and all that stuff.
Yeah. So they said, well, we can get about 10 to 20, 25 years out this stadium. So at the 15th year, they started planning for this Mercedes-Benz stadium already. You know how you can tell? Because Mercedes-Benz moved here. They started making them deals. And so 15 years into the old stadium, they already started planning to build this new stadium because they had to buy the land. They had to get the plans. And it's a lot that goes into building a stadium. Because when we used to build shopping centers, we used to have to take core samples. You had to take core samples, get it tested. Make sure there's no old cemetery on. It's a lot that goes into. You don't just buy land and start building. There's a lot that goes into building a building that could take years and before you even lay the first foundation. Yeah,
that's an awesome point. And just to add to that, it's not even just the stadium; it's the damn development around the stadium.
Exactly.
The whole concept with the mixed use, we're going to have this, or we're going to have any kind of secondary businesses by it. We're going to make sure there's a couple more restaurants, a couple more grocery stores, or we're going to look at putting some condos, apartment buildings and stuff like that. All this stuff goes years before they break ground. But years before. But again, when you don't take your ass to these city council meetings, the NPU units and stuff like that, this is what happens. You start crying about gentrification. It ain't gentrification. It's your ass not being proactive and trying to find out what's going on in your community. That's what the problem is. And you know what? They bank on that. Yeah. They bank on that.
They bank on us not caring. They bank on us not taking care of grandma's old house because we don't want to live there.
Exactly.
And we don't want to pay taxes on it.
Exactly.
And the taxes only $500 a year.
Exactly.
And she already paid it off 30 years ago, but she didn't die, and we don't want to live there because it's not big enough for us.
Yeah, because you got people thinking, okay, the white man came in and bought all the stuff out, and he snuck behind us and do it. He didn't sneak behind. He walked right in your damn face and did shit. You just didn't sit and make yourself, proactive to know what's going on. Because
he went right there to the county, pulled them tax rolls, see who was defunct on their taxes, and paid the tax on all the houses that was defunct.
Man, I get at least 3 phone calls a week on my house or down Bankhead. The hell you get my number? Just call letters and stuff like that. Want to buy this, that, and that. But so that's the thing about it, man. You being that constantly self-improvement, learning new stuff. Don't be afraid of constantly using. Because again, you have your body, and again, I know your brain is an organ, but I always say that's your most important muscle, because you see the difference of somebody that's 70, 80 years old, that's a lifelong learner. You look at a Buffett, sharp as a damn whistle.
Didn't make his first million until he was 50.
Exactly. But you see, he has his faculties. And we see some people that are older you know, you talk to something, hey baby, this, that, and that. But, and you know, especially with some of our older family members that haven't really been using that muscle, and you see they kind of like getting slower, they're doing that. But you see an older person that's always reading, always doing, always thinking. They may be still slow as far as from a mobility standpoint, but they're talking just like they damn.
You ain't gonna get nothing over on it.
Exactly. And that's why that's very, very important. Make sure you're constantly trying to improve yourself. Again, our show tonight, we're talking about 10 things the wealthy people do to get richer. This is Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, Change Your Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden. Like, share, subscribe to the video. Please make sure you're leaving comments and leaving likes, because I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, with the YouTube and Facebook algorithms. What happens is the more you like, the more you share, the more you leave comments, that goes into the database and makes the videos pop up more and more, which in turn helps us increase subscribers and the visibility of the show and everything. So we really need you guys liking the videos, leaving comments, sharing it, and as much activity as we can get possible with you guys doing it on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. It's gonna help us to grow the show and the channel. The next thing, number 8, they never really completely retire. Wealthy people take a step back. You know, you see, they may not necessarily be in the trenches anymore, but they still at a point where they can, you know, look down and see what's going on. They'll never put themselves in a position where they just sitting in a rocking chair. You know, they're always gonna be somewhere they're getting pulled as a special consultant or this, that, and that, where they still looking at different opportunities. Once the bug got you, the bug got you.
Right.
If you like making that money, like doing stuff, that ain't gonna never change nothing. So you see wealthy people, they're constantly always, you know, looking to kind of maybe stay busy. Even when you get to slow down, I think they get realistic in terms of, I can't do that no more, I can't pick this stuff up.
Right.
But they're still somewhere in the scenes with doing different things in terms of their business. So they never really completely retire. You see this a lot. Like I said, again, you have a lot of older people, especially, you know, like a lot of people that Trump has brought in the Trump administration. These are retired damn execs and stuff like that. And I know he has some folks that are totally off, but, you know, out of their realm what he's put them in. But a lot of these people have retired, 11 industries they've been in 20, 30 years. And he just bring them in because they have a world of knowledge to do it. You know, again, you know, I think a lot of decisions people put in place have been unpopular, but he hasn't really put too many damn ninny poops and stuff. Now, again, you might put somebody that totally got no business what they doing, like a brilliant surgeon like Ben Carson, you know, got him in charge of Hood and everything, but I can understand the logic is he's smart. And sometimes you think smart people can figure stuff out, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But they never, again, those wealthy people, they never really quit or stop doing it. They find some kind of way and capacity to still stay busy. You know, you see Clinton and all these former presidents, they still making millions of dollars speaking. Maybe write a book here and there and everything, but it's something that still got them going. They ain't just sitting on a damn rocking chair.
Right.
And everything. So that's one thing that's very unique about them. Number 9, they avoid overspending. They don't, no matter how much money they have, they ain't necessarily cheap, but they frugal. They smart about it. And it's not an issue of, you know, money ain't a thing. Spending how you live. It ain't tricking if you got it. Yeah. We all done heard it. But if you're going to trick, then you got to understand, if it ain't worth $50 and it worth $20, you just can't get $50. Get that money to United Way. Right. You know. So I'm just saying, you got to be smart about certain things. They don't necessarily waste money on things that aren't going to benefit them. I see wealthy people keep reinventing themselves. That's why they never retire. That's a good point. Again, you're right. Constant learners, finding ways to do different things, learn different ways about going into things. That's a common trait with a lot of people that's wealthy. But they, like I say again, they don't overspend. They don't overspend. I don't see too many people that we can say very wealthy and very rich. They ain't finna do too much stupid. Now, people may have their vices. Some folks do like cars. Some folks do like traveling. But when it come down to the nitty gritty, they looking at the balance sheet. Now, this too much for we don't need to pay this much for rent. We don't need to pay this much for utilities.
Yeah. And, I'm gonna give you a good example when Bill Gates first built his house. I think he was worth like 45, 50 billion at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And his house was $60 million.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody like $60 million. Well, relative to how much he's worth, 60
Wasn't that
million is
much.
not really that much if you really think about it. To us, it's a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
But if you're $50 billion in,
ain't that much.
exactly.
You know where you need a good spin off of that. Even when they spend money, and they spend a lot of money, going back to the adage of not overspending. When they do spend money, they're spending money on things that's going to increase in value. So just like the $60 million home purchase, there's no telling how much the house might be worth $100 million now.
Well, this is the kicker. He used the house he uses the house for innovative stuff. For like, he was the first person to have the Lexus and stuff in his house, and that was 15, 20 years ago.
Uh-huh.
He was the first one where he can say, cut off the lights and lights cut off.
Gotcha.
All his rooms have computer screens where he can, whatever he got in his house, whatever he called it.
Yeah.
Tom, pull up such and such, and it pulls up. Tom, turn on the stereo, and it turns on. But he was doing that back then because he was using his house as a place where people can invent stuff, and they'll come put it in his house and try to use it out. So he's actually making money.
That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
They ain't wasting money just to do it. They actually, if they spending, $100,000 on a car, they spend $100,000 on a collector's car, not no car that sit here just devalue as soon as leave off the lot. And it's a unique way of thinking. And I just think that a lot of times if people start studying some of the stuff we're talking about, hopefully the light will come on.
Lights for sale. That's a little thing I always watch on YouTube.
What's
Lights
that?
for sale.
Lights for sale.
Man, go buy a Bentley, he don't buy a new one. He buy the one from last year because he gonna get $100,000 off on it. He gonna trade in his Bentley. He gonna get him another Bentley that's 2 years newer, and he's not gonna get the new model because why? It look exactly the same
Bentley
as the one from last year, and it's got like 500 miles on it, and you're not gonna sell it to me as new. You gotta sell it to me as used. So I'm gonna save $100,000. That's how he was thinking.
Saving $100,000, and then also just looking, it ain't biting nothing on your balance sheet.
Exactly.
You're still at that same level. You still got money saved that you can do put in other opportunities to make other money grow and everything. Very, very smart about that spending.
Mm-hmm.
Round it out, number 10. The 10 things we're talking about the wealthy people do to get richer. They take time to reflect. And what I mean by take time to reflect, they take time to sit down and look at all the things that they've done to get them wealthy. They also take time to sit back and think all the things that they do that they mess money up on.
Mm-hmm.
They start thinking about the missed opportunities, the things that could be coming down the pike, different innovations or things in the future. What way the world is going, where is technology going and stuff like that. People's different spending habits. Mm-hmm. What's going on in different continents around the world, what's trending, what's the hot topics and everything. They're looking at that. They reflect on that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Sit down and just think, okay, where, we start talking about ways to put that money on, what, acknowledging their mistakes, thinking about what they could have did differently, and get a new blueprint, a game plan about going forward. So they'll sit there and spend a lot of times processing, thinking. You ain't beating yourself up, but just being smart enough to know, like, look, maybe if I'd have did this, that probably been a little different. Maybe if I'd have did that. And they spend a lot of times trying to figure out ways to kind of get that started. So that's what I mean by just taking time to reflect. We're doing that. And a lot of times, people don't want to do that because when you make a mistake, it brings a lot of pain because you got to sit here and be honest with yourself about what you did wrong. And people don't want to be accountable with themselves, like, hey, I could have did this differently. Mm-hmm. But wealthy people don't think like that. They use it as a learning mechanism to kind of just grow from, and shit, I'm still going to do it again. I just know what I did wrong. Mm-hmm. They've learned, they've made a mistake, they owned it, and now they've devised new plans to not do it anymore. And if we stop and think for a second, we wouldn't have the world we're in now if a lot of people stopped at their mistakes. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have airplanes with the Wright brothers. You wouldn't have your cars. boats, a lot of these businesses. If those guys that were those front end mouth,
y'all favorite things, y'all iPhones,
I mean, all those, early entrepreneurs and mavericks. How many times Edison tried to do the damn light bulb? Thousands, wasn't it?
Yeah, we ain't gonna get into Edison.
Yeah, but just.
But he did do 1,000.
Exactly.
He did a lot of time. I mean, it took a lot of time. He had to figure out that filament.
Exactly.
Which he actually stole from somebody else. But he had to figure out that filament.
He learned to stop doing the shit himself and let me steal somebody.
Exactly.
Let me cheat off your paper. So, but to that point, they don't use it for that. So those are the 10 things that wealthy people do to get richer. We're going to run through them right quick. Number 1, they have a financial growth mindset. Number 2, they network with other successful people. 3, they get outside of their comfort zone. 4, they create multiple streams of income. 5, they invest. 6, they take calculated risks. Number 7, they focus on self-improvement and lifelong learning. 8, they never really completely retire. 9, they avoid overspending. And 10, they take time to reflect on everything. Please keep in mind that we're going to post everything on the YouTube, after the show and stuff, so you always be able to go back and review everything. But again, that was our topic where we was talking about the 10 things that wealthy people do to get richer. Real quick, I want to go over, and again, this is our show, Change Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Please go to the YouTube channel and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to it. Real quick, my business tip for you guys this week is make sure you go by and pull that credit report. We done past the mid-year point. Go by your credit, pull your credit report at allcreditreport.com. Again, that's allcreditreport.com. That's the true free site for you to pull your credit report. In the state of Georgia, residents have 2 free credit reports they can pull a year. Go on and pull it with a year, mid-year point. Kind of see some of the things that you were looking at early in the year that you may have discrepancy on, or see, kind of get your barometer where you at with everything. So make sure you pull that credit report, do an analysis, kind of compare it to what it was early in the year. So I think it's a good thing to do right now. Just pull that credit report. Remember to go to annualcreditreport.com to get a free credit report for all 3 agencies, being Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. In conclusion to our show, I put a YouTube video out this week, and I was talking about don't struggle in silence. And I really want everybody to go and check that video out, Don't Struggle in Silence. And it has a lot to do with mental health. Whereas you have a lot of people, especially in the black community, dealing with a lot of things, and especially stress, life, things like that. And I've been guilty of it myself, just compartmentalizing, holding a lot of stuff in, and holding so damn long till you might snap or do certain things. And we see a lot of things happening in our world today in terms of murder, suicide, folks done beat up on their spouse, people that went postal at work and stuff like that. And a lot of that can be attributed to people holding in stress. And my thought was like, look, number 1, as a friend, if you see a friend in need, go be that ill. Don't give a damn, they need to talk to you all day and night to get it off the chest, let them do that. And as an individual, if you know you're going through something, try your best to try to get it out. Try to get you some help. If you can't get any help, try to talk to somebody. If you can't find nobody, find you a tree, find you something, and just talk and get it out. Because time and time again, people have unfortunate situations come up because they try to hold stuff in. And my challenge to people is, if you see somebody that needs the help, step to them and be that friend and be that ear that they need. And also, if you know you're going through something, don't be so embarrassed or shy about trying to seek help from somebody. So I just want to kind of get with people. Don't struggle in silence.
One of the things that helped me out, because I am a mental person, I think about stuff. I analyze everything and anything. Journaling helps me out a lot. I write stuff down in a journal every day, and I mean I have several volumes of journals that it helps me out because it helps me get my thought. It helped me get my thought out. Where if I'm talking to somebody, I may not can express exactly what I'm thinking at that time, or I may say no, I don't want to say that because. But if I'm writing in a journal, it's all out there.
Well, that's an awesome point, because I'm glad you said it, because like Lab was just saying that he journalized everything. Finding that outlet. It might be painting, it might be coaching, it might be talking, whatever. Once you find some kind of outlet to help you get it out.
You're right.
Because again, especially with black men, we do a lot of holding stuff in because of masculinity and stuff like that. We got to get out of that. So again, let's check out that video I said, Don't Struggle in Silence and everything. But I want to conclude tonight's show with that. Again, it's been Change Your Life, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Please go to the YouTube channel, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Again, I apologize for being a little tardy. Well, tardy. I was more than a little. But as always, you know your boy's going to deliver. So go check us out, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Love you guys. Take care. Talk to you later.